tell us what you saw in that play, and then before you even got in the end zone, you were celebrating. Kind of what's going through your head in that moment.
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, they matched it up pretty well. The play that we had on, everything was kind of headed over to the right side of that end zone, and again, they matched it up pretty well. Kind of played like a quarters match in the red zone, low red. We had great protection, so I was like, okay, we have a timeout, so I have some time to try to scramble around, maybe make a play, and kind of just shot out the backside. There's nobody there, and obviously there's a ton of emotions in the moment to be able to go on a 2-minute drive in such a huge game like that, and with the implications on the line of heading to this game as well. And obviously I was super excited to be able to make that play.
Do it where it all started. That's the hard route. Definitely a blessing to do it back at home.
Considering all that you've been through, I know your faith is important to you. What is your story telling you about God?
Yeah, of course. Again, and I said this last week, and I'll say it again, I think the biggest thing throughout my story is just to always trust in God and trust in His plan, and that He has a story written for you. And at times, it's really hard to see that. Sometimes it can be really dark. Sometimes you don't see that light at the end of the tunnel, and I feel like that's where faith is at its strongest, and that's where you have to be strongest in your faith, and having that faith that God is going to pull you out of that He is the only thing that can pull you out of that. So again, I've had full trust in God and this plan, and it hasn't been easy at times, but again, look at God. It's been an unbelievable ride, it's been an unbelievable journey, and I'm just so thankful and blessed to have this opportunity.
One of the highest levels.
We're going to go right here.
Carson, Michael Irvin has been very, very supportive of the team. A bunch of the Miami Stars have been very supportive. How is it to have Michael Irvin at the end of every game, you and Sully down the sideline and just celebrating with the fans? How does that empower your squad?
Yeah, personally, I think it's awesome. Obviously, he brings a lot of energy and juice to our football team, and to see him along with obviously other guys that have played for the U in the past, it gives us a lot of energy, and you can see the support and how much they care about this university and our team, especially him. Obviously, he's been in every single game. He's running up and down the sidelines. I mean, he's coming up picking me up after games, yelling and screaming, and I love it, man. It's awesome to have those guys on the sideline.
Are you ready? Okay, we're gonna go right here. Speak up. Carson, playing in a national championship isn't something new for you. You've done this in the SEC, and you've always proven people wrong. How does it feel right now to be playing again in the national championship, competing for your third championship ring?
Yeah, obviously it feels awesome to finally be the guy and the quarterback, a part of a team that has done this and gone through a season and eventually earn the opportunity to play in a national championship. Obviously it's a dream of mine. It was one of this team's ultimate goals. It is our ultimate goal, obviously, to be in this game, to win this game. And having been a part of it, being a part of teams that have done it, that have gone all the way, won all the way, to again be back in this moment is pretty surreal.
Okay, we're gonna go back over here.
I had to make a decision and realize who.
Building off of that really quickly, having this game in your home stadium, talk about that, talk about what the fans support has been like, talk about being here in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's probably the coolest thing of all of this is the opportunity to play in our home stadium for a national championship in front of our home crowd in our home city. I mean, what an unbelievable opportunity for us and the U as a whole, right? And just this city in general, right? I mean, they've had unbelievable support throughout this whole entire season, and to be able to play in front of them at home is obviously pretty dope. Good.
There's a lot of guys that visit the sideline.
It'll definitely be different. We were having this conversation of, we'll be in a different locker room, be on a different sideline. I'm sure some guys might get confused and start running to the other sideline mid-game, but again, at the end of the day, once you step on the lines in between the field, it's same size field, same end zone, same 100 yards, and again, it'll come down to the execution of the game.
We're going to go right here.
Next thing we know how to do is destroy people. So
God never leaves you. God never leaves you.
I can't hear it all.
The storm, you might be going through some adversity, but He'll never leave you. You just always gotta have that.
Yeah, you gotta come. I can't hear it at all.
Appreciate the bad times just as much as good times. Those good times will come around again, but you got to go through the battle a little bit so you can really appreciate those good times. God never leaves you. He's always had it over there.
A lot of mistakes, but
yeah, of course. And obviously for my story, it's a little bit different because I mean, I was at Georgia for 5 years. You know, I stuck it out. I sat for 3 years. I waited my turn to have the opportunity to be a quarterback at the University of Georgia. Obviously, I have the injury and things don't pan out the way that I exactly thought they were going to. And then I was blessed with the opportunity to enter the transfer portal, to have another opportunity to play at the University of Miami. Obviously, talking to Coach Cristobal, talking to Coach Dawson in that process, I mean, this is what we thought we could do. This is what we thought that this team was capable of. Obviously, you have to go out and execute, right? Talent only takes you so far, but the way that this team has been able to come together, the way that we've been able to battle adversity and fight through this season and ultimately earn this opportunity to play in this game has been awesome, and it's obviously everything that we've worked for.
Yeah, Carson, you guys are playing at home. There's a lot of audience. You're 8.5-point underdog. Is that something you guys play with a chip on your shoulders? But is that something that you guys talk about as teammates? That you're that big of an underdog and you get the extra motivation to play?
Honestly, none of that matters for us. I feel like this whole season, all we've really talked about is the people in this locker room is what matters. You know, our coaches, our teammates, these fans, right? Everybody that has backed you, that has supported us, that has believed in us. I mean, that's what matters at the end of the day. And for us, the harder we work, the harder we prepare. We understand that at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the execution on the field, and all the outside noise, everything else, we kind of just keep out. So I think the more that we focus on us, the better off we are at the end of the day.
I'm curious, did you have class yesterday? And so what class? And I know there was a pep rally on campus. What has it been like for you?
No class. I graduated 2 years ago, so obviously I've been working towards other degrees now that I've gone to Miami, but these programs take a little longer than just a year to finish, so obviously I'm not enrolling again next semester, so I'll be done after this season, but man, it's been awesome for this university, for this fan base, for this city, especially to have the opportunity to play in Hard Rock. You can see it. I mean, we're walking out of the facility yesterday. There's a ton of fans, a ton of people. Everyone's screaming, yelling, cheering. So it's been an awesome opportunity for this team. And I know all of us are super excited about it.
So are you on campus at all during the week, like basketball rally?
I live in the facility. That's about it. If I'm not at the facility, I'm at home, and I just kind of bounce back and forth. And it's been that way for about the past month.
We're gonna come right here.
Carson, we do a little thing here where we just get like the grip strength of all your teammates and put it up against each other. You might just squeeze that for a bit.
Yeah,
See what help you can get.
How do I do this?
Just squeeze it as hard as you can.
I know she's extremely pumped.
Wait, this way?
Extremely pumped. We ain't even really talk about it yet, but one girl only got to do 15 minutes.
1:59.6.
Wow, this is amazing. This is a blessing.
Speak up.
I want to be extremely blessed to have just your national championship. It's crazy. This is football, whether it's in person, this sport has given me so much.
Yeah. Obviously, very talented player. I haven't gotten to watch him much. The only time I really got to watch him is when I was studying Ohio State's defense for that game, and obviously he was able to make some really big-time plays in that game. So it'd be really cool to face a really talented opponent. And then as far as the whole team of Indiana goes, they play with great discipline. They play so well as a team. You can tell that they're really well coached. Again, and then the talent speaks for itself. They've done an unbelievable job this year, and we're really excited for the opportunity to have this challenge to go up against them.
We're gonna go right here in the middle and just speak up.
And I'm just so blessed to just run out of time one more time.
Well, again, it really is the same at the end of the day. Last night we went to the hotel, and yes, we are in Miami, but it's not like I'm going home to go sleep in my own bed. We're in the hotel. We're meeting more. We're obviously the practices are a little bit different as far as the time slots go, and then obviously we have this. This is not normal, so again, it still feels like each and every week has these past playoff weeks. So for us, I mean, again, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what we're able to do on the field. And obviously, it is cool we have the opportunity to play in Hard Rock, but still a football game as it always is.
Back to Heather.
What do you see from them defensively in particular that makes them so good?
Can you say that again? I'm so sorry.
What do you see from them defensively that makes them so good?
Yeah, again, they don't make mistakes. They play very, very well together. They're very disciplined, and then, like I just said, like the talent speaks for itself. They're obviously super talented in all facets of the game. The front seven, D-line, linebackers, their DBs are very talented. Play the quarterback's eyes very well, so and they're really well coached. So again, it's difficult to go up against defenses like that play so well and are meshed so well together. But again, we're really looking for this opportunity.
Okay, bring it back to the center.
Now, today wasn't going to be all for pretty much answering. What was going through your head on selection night? Because from earlier in the season, until that point, it was like, hey, we really don't have time to get in. Like, what was kind of going through your head and then your reaction when y'all finally got it?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, for me personally, I didn't know what was going to happen, and I knew that after the SMU loss, and we had 4 more games left in the season, that we had 4 guaranteed opportunities left to go play and just go do what we can, and honestly just kind of cut loose and have fun in these opportunities, because we don't know what the rest of our season is going to look like. And I feel like our team really took that and handled it very well and very maturely. In those last 4 games, we played really well, and then obviously you get to the selection day, and I mean, I'm sitting there on the couch watching. I'm obviously very anxious for what the decision is going to be, and once you see Miami up there on the screen, I mean, I'm running around, jumping around the crib, obviously super excited, and now to have been able to do this with this team, it's been unbelievable. It's been really, really awesome.
Other questions, guys? Anybody? Yep.
So are you really working towards other degrees?
Well, after this, I'm done. So I mean,
Right. So just to be clear, like you're basically a professional football player. You're not taking any classes.
well, I'm still no. I mean, I've been in school. Yes,
Okay.
I've had classes this whole entire year that I've had to take. Now all of them are online, so I don't ever have to actually go in person, which is probably a good thing and helps me as far as my schedule and time that I can devote to football. But no, I have been enrolled in school and taking classes. Yes.
Okay, that's all right. Thank you for
I'm
clarifying.
gonna go back here.
That was a long set of time, man. Yeah. Hey, Carson, let's go with just curious, when you came to Miami and you're coming off the start, I know a lot of ways, some of the games you watched the game, while you're going through the
I think honestly, Coach Cristobal did a great job with that for me. I mean, during spring practice, I was dressed up in full pads, and there was no way I was ever getting into practice, but I was at every practice in full pads, go through the warm up, and then I kind of just sit right behind. They have a camera right behind our offensive set, and I'm sitting by the camera the entire time, talking to guys, talking through plays, meeting with the guys, right? So any way that I can build chemistry, obviously off the football field, and I'm trying to be a coach essentially, is kind of what I had to do since I obviously wasn't out there practicing.
Back to center.
Carson, what concerns you the most about season?
Yeah, obviously they're super talented. You can see the way that they play. They play really well together. Their chemistry is very high, and they're very disciplined. They're well coached. So again, going up against defenses like that don't make a lot of mistakes and are mostly in the right spot on each and every given play, it obviously presents a challenge for us. But again, we're gonna have to go out there and just execute our plan.
Go back to the center.
To play football there to prepare ourselves. He made another big sacrifice for letting me go.
Can you say that? Can you say the last part again? Yeah, I think a lot of that comes from our preparation and just the way that we practice. Coach Cristobal puts us in these situations during practice, throughout fall camp, the 2-minute drill, red zone, opening, coming out backed up. So all these different situations that you get in a football game, we practice them, and Coach Cristobal puts us in these situations. So I believe that that's a huge part of why we feel comfortable when those situations do horizon.
Extremely excited. This is a dream come true for him. Like,
Other questions, guys?
all these guys, you know, and be like, man, like he
Yeah, it was a learning curve last year. We had the mentality from when the season was over. We were not done. When we had the chance of going to the playoffs, that's all we needed.
I mean, no,
Oh man.
the way that everything worked out, there was never really a thought for me until obviously the injury of me coming back to college. I mean, if you asked me all last year throughout the season, that was never my plan. That was never, oh, I'm going to do this or do that or come back to college for another year. I mean, I had already been in college for 5 years, right? I'd started 2 full seasons, and for me, my goal was to ultimately go to the NFL, and that's always been a dream of mine. But again, after the injury, it was kind of, changed my mindset, changed what my future was going to look like. And yeah, sorry. Obviously, the opportunity to come to Miami presented itself once I entered the transfer portal, and I mean, I made that decision, and here we are. You know, it's really worked out well. Yeah.
You can't take this opportunity for granted.
Yeah, Carson, technically the road team playing at home, how unusual is that? And what is this home field advantage in this national championship?
Yeah, it'll be interesting, being in a different locker room, being on the opposite sideline of the one that we're usually on, and then obviously wearing white jerseys in our home stadium, which I like the white jerseys better. I think they look super dope. But again, at the end of the day, it's still the same field, the same game of football that we've always played. And it'll be super cool to have the opportunity to play in Hardman.
Okay, we're gonna go right here and just speak up.
Carson, how did you kind of navigate the dynamic of not being able to be on the field in spring, but also trying to develop chemistry with the other quarterbacks on the roster? And they also kind of knew that if recovery went well, you were going to take their job at the end of the
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was just trying to be like a coach on the field. Obviously, Coach Griswold made me dress up in full pads. I mean, put the helmet on, everything. There was no way I was ever practicing. I couldn't throw football. But I just try to serve as a coach and serve the players around me and earn their trust by the time that I put in and what I did on the field during practice, after the field, whenever we would meet together and watch film, as I learned the offense as well, right? I'm still learning a new offense, a new system, trying to understand the players around me, who we were going to have, what we were going to be able to do. So again, just trying to be that on-field coach, and then also help the guys off the field as well, as how I was able to build chemistry and relationships with them.